The camera crew followed Kody that day too. He rushed home to Robyn.
Christine Brown just dropped the most explosive teaser yet about her upcoming memoir. And honey, Kody Brown is about to be humiliated in ways he never saw coming. We're talking intimate confessions that will have this man hiding under a rock for the next decade. Christine recently posted on Instagram that she can't believe I finally had the courage to write what I did, and sources are whispering that she's about to expose Kody's most embarrassing bedroom secrets in excruciating detail. Allegedly, Christine is planning to hit Kody exactly where it hurts most: his precious ego and his reputation as some kind of polygamous patriarch who could satisfy multiple wives. The timing couldn't be more perfect either. Just as Kody is prancing around on special forces trying to prove his masculinity to America, his ex-wife is reportedly preparing to tell the world that his performance in the bedroom was anything but impressive. We're talking about confessions that could make Kody the laughingstock of reality television, and allegedly, Christine is absolutely here for it. Sources close to the situation claim that Christine has been holding back these intimate details for years, protecting Kody's dignity even after their marriage fell apart. But something has clearly changed her mind. Insiders suggest that Christine's newfound courage isn't just about finally telling her truth, it's about systematic revenge against a man who allegedly treated her like his least favorite wife for decades. While Kody was busy playing house with Robyn, buying expensive cars, and filling their home with cruise ship art, Christine was reportedly left feeling unwanted and unfulfilled in every aspect of their relationship.
He needed to check in on, I don't know, the kids, her feelings about my labor.
The woman who once defended this man on national television is now allegedly preparing to expose his most private failures to millions of readers. The sister wives community is buzzing with speculation about what exactly Christine is planning to reveal, and the whispers are getting juicier by the day. Some sources claim Christine has been taking detailed notes for years, documenting not just Kody's emotional neglect, but his alleged shortcomings in their most intimate moments. We're talking about the kind of personal revelations that could destroy a narcissist's carefully crafted public image forever. And let's be real, Kody has always been obsessed with how he looks to the outside world. What makes this even more delicious is that Christine knows exactly how to hurt Kody where he's most vulnerable. This is a man who spent 27 years bragging about his ability to keep multiple wives satisfied, painting himself as some kind of irresistible patriarch who women fought over. But allegedly, Christine is about to pull back the curtain on what really went on behind closed doors, and sources suggest it's not the picture of masculine prowess Kody would want the world to see. Remember, this is the same woman who endured years of neglect, financial abandonment during her children's medical crises, and watching Kody shower Robyn with attention while she struggled alone. Allegedly, Christine is done protecting the man who left her high and dry, and she's about to serve up some serious payback that will leave Kody's reputation in absolute shambles. But this is just the beginning of what promises to be the most scandalous sister wives revelation yet. Let's break down that Instagram post that has everyone talking, because Christine's choice of words tells us everything we need to know about what's coming. When she wrote, "I can't believe I finally had the courage to write what I did," she wasn't just talking about general marriage struggles or polygamy challenges. Sources close to Christine suggest she's referring to deeply personal, intimate details that she's kept buried for years out of respect for her children and her own privacy. But allegedly, that respect has officially expired, and Christine is ready to let the world know exactly what kind of husband and lover Kody really was. The word courage is particularly telling here because it suggests Christine knows these revelations are going to create absolute chaos in the Sister Wives universe.
Helping me digest through all of the different emotions, and I dug real deep, and there are some secrets and some nitty-gritty stuff, and I hope you love it.
We're not talking about surface-level complaints about feeling neglected or unloved. Insiders whisper that Christine has documented specific incidents, conversations, and intimate moments that paint Kody in the most unflattering light possible. The kind of details that would make any man cringe, but especially a narcissist who spent decades crafting an image as the ultimate polygamous patriarch. What's even more fascinating is the timing of this revelation. Christine could have dropped these bombshells years ago when she was angry and hurt, but she waited. She waited until she was established in her new life, happy with David, and completely removed from Kody's manipulation. Sources suggest this calculated timing means Christine isn't writing from a place of raw emotion anymore. She's writing from a place of cold, calculated truth-telling that's going to be even more devastating. The Sister Wives fan community has been speculating wildly about what could require this level of courage to write about. Some fans are hoping for financial revelations, others want to know about the sister-wife dynamics, but the smart money is on intimate confessions that will absolutely destroy Kody's reputation. We're talking about the kind of personal details that narcissists like Kody live in terror of having exposed: their private failures, their selfish behaviors, their complete inability to satisfy the people they claim to love. Christine's marketing team is clearly leaning into this mysterious energy too. They're not giving us specific teasers or chapter previews like most memoir campaigns. Instead, they're building suspense around Christine's bravery in telling these particular truths. That suggests we're dealing with revelations so personal and potentially damaging that even Christine's publishers know they need to handle this carefully. Here's where Christine's revenge gets absolutely brilliant, and Kody probably doesn't even see it coming yet.
I am so excited for my book. It's going to be available. It's available now. You can pre-order it now.
During the season 19 tell-all, Kody made a very specific statement that's about to come back and bite him in the most humiliating way possible. He declared that money and intimacy were always the family's sacred cow, topics that were off-limits and private. Well, allegedly, Christine took notes during that tell-all, and she's about to use Kody's own words as the perfect justification for exposing everything he wanted to keep hidden. Sources suggest that Christine sees Kody's sacred cow comment as the ultimate hypocrisy, considering how he spent years airing their dirty laundry on national television when it suited his narrative. But the moment the truth might make him look bad, suddenly there are sacred boundaries that shouldn't be crossed. Insiders whisper that Christine found this selective privacy absolutely infuriating, especially since Kody had no problem discussing their intimacy issues when he could blame her for their problems. What makes this even more devastating is that Christine allegedly plans to address both of Kody's sacred topics, money and intimacy, in excruciating detail. We're talking about a woman who watched Kody drive his convertible Mercedes while her daughter needed surgery, who saw him fill Robyn's house with expensive nonsense while medical bills piled up for his other children. Sources claim Christine has been documenting the financial inequities for years, but now she's ready to connect those inequities to what was happening in their bedroom. The timing of Christine's tell-all couldn't be more perfect for maximum humiliation either. Kody is currently filming Special Forces, trying to project this image of masculine strength and leadership to a national audience. Meanwhile, his ex-wife is reportedly preparing to publish detailed accounts of his failures as both a provider and a lover. Allegedly, Christine knows exactly how this contrast is going to look, and she's absolutely here for the irony.
Her session recording the audio version of her book, and she was massively shading Kody and Robyn.
Insiders suggest that Christine's approach to breaking these sacred cows is going to be methodical and devastating. She's not just planning to drop random bombshells, she's allegedly connecting the dots between Kody's financial selfishness and his intimate selfishness, painting a picture of a man who was completely self-centered in every aspect of their relationship. We're talking about revelations that will show how Kody's bedroom behavior reflected the same narcissistic patterns he displayed with money and attention. What's particularly brilliant about Christine's strategy is that she's using Kody's own framework against him. He's the one who grouped money and intimacy together as sacred topics, essentially admitting that these were his most vulnerable areas. Now Christine is allegedly preparing to systematically destroy his reputation in both categories, using his own words as her roadmap for revenge. The Sister Wives community is already buzzing with anticipation because they know Christine has the receipts. This isn't speculation or gossip. This is a woman who lived with this man for over 2 decades and allegedly kept detailed mental notes about every slight, every disappointment, and every moment when Kody showed his true colors. And now she's ready to share all of it with the world. Sacred cows be damned. Now let's talk about what sources are whispering regarding the specific intimate details Christine is allegedly planning to expose. Because honey, this is where things get absolutely ruthless. Insiders close to the memoir's development suggest that Christine isn't just planning to hint at bedroom disappointments, she's reportedly preparing to lay out chapter and verse about Kody's alleged failures as a lover, complete with specific examples that will leave readers cringing on his behalf. According to publishing industry sources, Christine's approach to these intimate revelations is both calculated and devastating. Rather than making vague complaints about feeling neglected, she's allegedly planning to detail specific incidents that showcase Kody's selfishness and complete lack of consideration for her needs. We're talking about the kind of personal confessions that would make any man's blood run cold, but especially a narcissist like Kody, who spent years painting himself as irresistible to women. What makes these alleged revelations even more humiliating is the context Christine is reportedly providing. Sources suggest she's not just talking about isolated incidents of disappointment, she's allegedly documenting a pattern of behavior that shows how Kody's selfishness in the bedroom perfectly mirrored his selfishness in every other aspect of their relationship. The same man who couldn't be bothered to prioritize his sick children allegedly couldn't be bothered to prioritize his wife's satisfaction either. Insiders whisper that Christine has been inspired by other reality stars who've successfully exposed their ex's intimate shortcomings, particularly noting how devastating these revelations can be to men who've built their entire identity around their supposed prowess. We're talking about the kind of personal details that destroy a man's confidence and make him the subject of ridicule rather than respect. And allegedly, Christine knows exactly how much this approach will hurt Kody's precious ego. The publishing world is buzzing because intimate tell-alls have become incredibly popular, especially when they involve exposing narcissistic men who've spent years controlling the narrative. Sources suggest that Christine's publishers are thrilled with her willingness to go this deep into personal territory because they know these kinds of confessions sell books and generate massive media attention. What's particularly brilliant about Christine's alleged strategy is that she's reportedly planning to contrast her experiences with Kody against her current happiness with David. Insiders suggest she's going to use her new relationship as proof that the problems weren't with her. They were completely with Kody's approach to intimacy and his inability to be anything other than selfish in every aspect of his relationships. But here's the most devastating part of what sources are telling us. Allegedly, Christine has specific quotes and conversations that she's planning to include in the memoir. We're talking about things Kody said during intimate moments that reveal his complete lack of empathy and consideration. The kind of direct quotes that will make readers understand exactly what Christine endured and why she finally had enough of trying to make this man happy at her own expense. The reality television community is already preparing for the fallout because everyone knows that once these kinds of intimate details become public, there's no going back. Kody's reputation will allegedly be permanently altered by whatever Christine is planning to reveal, and sources suggest she's completely at peace with burning that bridge forever. Let's talk about the blueprint for destroying a narcissist's reputation through intimate revelations, because Christine is reportedly following a strategy that's proven devastatingly effective in the reality television world. Just look at what happened when Brittany Cartwright went on Watch What Happens Live and casually mentioned that her ex Jax Taylor was a consistent two in bed. That single comment became bigger news than anything else about their divorce, and sources suggest Christine has been taking notes on exactly why this approach works so well. The psychology behind exposing intimate failures is absolutely brutal for men like Kody, who've built their entire identity around their supposed ability to satisfy women. Narcissists live in terror of being publicly humiliated about their private shortcomings because it shatters the carefully constructed image they've spent years building. Allegedly, Christine understands this vulnerability perfectly and is preparing to exploit it in ways that will leave Kody's ego permanently damaged. What makes intimate revelations so particularly devastating is that they're impossible to defend against without making things worse. If Kody tries to deny Christine's claims, he's essentially inviting more discussion about his bedroom performance. If he stays silent, people assume the allegations are true. It's a lose-lose situation that allegedly has Christine's revenge strategy written all over it. She's backed him into a corner where any response will only amplify the humiliation. Insiders suggest that Christine has studied how other reality stars have successfully used intimate confessions to reclaim their power after toxic relationships. When someone like Bethany Frankel hints at her ex-husband's shortcomings, or when Teresa Giudice makes subtle digs about past relationships, they're not just sharing personal details. They're strategically repositioning themselves as the victims who deserve sympathy rather than criticism. The timing of Christine's alleged revelations is particularly brilliant because they're coming at a moment when Kody is trying to rehabilitate his image through special forces. While he's attempting to look strong and capable on national television, his ex-wife is reportedly preparing to publish detailed accounts of his most private failures. The contrast between his public posturing and her intimate revelations will allegedly make the humiliation even more complete. Publishing sources whisper that intimate tell-alls have become incredibly popular because readers are hungry for the real story behind these seemingly perfect relationships we see on television. When someone like Christine promises to reveal what really happened behind closed doors, especially with specific details about physical intimacy, it creates a level of anticipation that traditional celebrity memoirs can't match. What's even more devastating for Kody is that Christine allegedly has decades of material to draw from. This isn't just one disappointed wife sharing a few unflattering anecdotes. Sources suggest this is a comprehensive breakdown of intimate patterns that will paint Kody as consistently selfish, inconsiderate, and completely focused on his own satisfaction rather than his partner's needs. The reality television community is already preparing for the ripple effects because everyone knows that once these kinds of intimate details become public knowledge, they define how someone is perceived forever. Allegedly, Christine is counting on exactly that kind of permanent reputational damage, and sources suggest she's completely prepared for the nuclear fallout that's about to hit the Sister Wives universe. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room. How is Robyn Brown handling the fact that her husband's ex-wife is about to publish intimate details about the man she's currently sharing a bed with? Sources close to the situation suggest that Robyn is absolutely panicking behind the scenes, and allegedly for very good reasons that go beyond just embarrassment about Kody's past performance issues. Insiders whisper that Robyn's biggest fear isn't just the public humiliation of having Christine expose Kody's alleged bedroom failures. It's what these revelations might say about her own intimate relationship with him. If Christine is planning to detail specific patterns of selfish behavior that allegedly characterized Kody's approach to intimacy, Robyn has to be wondering whether those same patterns are showing up in their current relationship. What makes this even more uncomfortable for Robyn is that she spent years positioning herself as Kody's favorite wife, the one who allegedly receives all his attention and affection. But if Christine's memoir reveals that Kody was consistently disappointing and selfish in bed even during the early years of their relationship, it raises serious questions about whether Robyn's supposedly special treatment extends to their private moments or if she's just better at hiding her own dissatisfaction. Publishing industry sources suggest that Christine might be planning to draw specific comparisons between how Kody treated his different wives intimately, which would put Robyn in an incredibly awkward position. Allegedly, Christine has observed Kody's behavior patterns for over 2 decades and knows exactly how he operates when he thinks he's in complete control versus when he's trying to win someone back. The timing of these revelations is particularly brutal for Robyn because she's already dealing with intense scrutiny from Sister Wives fans who blame her for the family's destruction. Now she allegedly has to prepare for even more personal criticism about her relationship with Kody, especially if Christine's memoir suggests that Robyn was receiving preferential treatment in every aspect of their marriage, including intimacy. Insiders whisper that Robyn is reportedly trying to convince Kody to take legal action to prevent certain details from being published, but sources suggest that Christine's legal team has been very careful about what can and cannot be included in the memoir. The reality is that Christine lived this relationship for 27 years and has every right to share her own experiences, even if those experiences are deeply unflattering to her ex-husband. What's even more devastating for Robyn is that she allegedly can't defend Kody without inadvertently confirming some of Christine's claims. If she insists that Kody is actually a wonderful, considerate lover, she's essentially admitting that he treated Christine differently than he treats her. But if she stays silent, people will assume that Christine's allegations are accurate and that Robyn is just putting up with the same selfish behavior. The Sister Wives fan community is particularly excited about this aspect of the memoir because they've always suspected that Robyn knew exactly what she was doing when she entered this family. Allegedly, Christine's intimate revelations will provide concrete evidence of how Robyn's presence changed the entire dynamic of Kody's relationships with his other wives, and sources suggest those details are going to be absolutely damning for both Robyn and Kody. Here's where Christine's intimate revelations get even more explosive, because sources suggest she's planning to expose how the polygamous lifestyle allegedly affected Kody's approach to intimacy in ways that will shock even longtime Sister Wives viewers. We're talking about detailed accounts of how sharing a husband supposedly created a competitive environment that made intimate relationships transactional rather than loving. And allegedly, Christine has very specific examples to back up these claims. Insiders whisper that Christine is planning to reveal how Kody allegedly used intimacy as a reward and punishment system within the plural marriage structure. Sources suggest she's going to detail specific incidents where Kody would withhold affection from wives who displeased him while showering attention on those who were currently in his good graces. This kind of manipulative behavior would allegedly explain why the sister wives were constantly competing for his approval rather than supporting each other. What makes these revelations particularly devastating is that Christine reportedly plans to contrast how Kody behaved with each wife during intimate moments, showing how he allegedly tailored his approach based on what he thought each woman would tolerate. Sources suggest that Christine has observed these patterns for decades and is now ready to expose how Kody's supposed ability to satisfy multiple wives was actually just his skill at manipulating different women in different ways. The polygamous community is allegedly bracing for impact because Christine's intimate confessions could expose uncomfortable truths about how plural marriage actually functions behind closed doors. Rather than the harmonious family structure that's often portrayed publicly, sources suggest Christine is going to reveal a system where women were constantly competing for sexual attention and validation from one man who allegedly couldn't adequately satisfy any of them. Publishing industry insiders whisper that Christine's unique perspective as someone who lived polygamy for decades makes her memoir particularly valuable because she can allegedly expose the intimate realities that outsiders never get to see. We're talking about detailed accounts of how the rotation schedule affected emotional intimacy, how jealousy played out in the bedroom, and how Kody allegedly prioritized his own satisfaction over building genuine connections with any of his wives. What's particularly brilliant about Christine's approach is that she's reportedly planning to use her current monogamous relationship with David as a stark contrast to what she experienced with Kody. Sources suggest she's going to detail exactly how different intimate life can be when you're with someone who's completely focused on your happiness, rather than juggling multiple relationships and competing priorities. The reality television world is buzzing because intimate details about polygamous relationships are incredibly rare, especially from someone with Christine's credibility and insider knowledge. Allegedly, she's planning to pull back the curtain on aspects of plural marriage that have never been discussed publicly, including how the lifestyle allegedly affected Kody's ability to form genuine intimate connections with any of his wives. But here's what makes this even more explosive. Sources suggest that Christine is planning to reveal how Robyn's entrance into the family allegedly changed Kody's intimate priorities completely. We're talking about specific examples of how Kody's behavior with his existing wives supposedly shifted once he became obsessed with his newest relationship, leaving the other women feeling completely abandoned, both emotionally and physically. The Sister Wives fan community has been speculating about these dynamics for years, and allegedly Christine is about to confirm their worst suspicions with devastating detail. Now let's connect the dots between Kody's alleged bedroom selfishness and his financial negligence, because sources suggest Christine is planning to reveal how these two failures were actually symptoms of the same fundamental problem: his complete inability to prioritize anyone's needs over his own desires. We're talking about a devastating pattern that allegedly shows how the same man who couldn't be bothered to satisfy his wife was also the man who drove a convertible Mercedes, while his children faced medical emergencies without adequate support. Insiders whisper that Christine is planning to draw specific parallels between Kody's intimate neglect and his financial abandonment during her children's health crises. Sources suggest she's going to detail how Kody's selfish approach to their physical relationship perfectly mirrored his selfish approach to family finances, always taking what he wanted while leaving her to deal with the consequences and responsibilities he should have been sharing. What makes this connection particularly damning is the timing Christine allegedly plans to reveal. While she was struggling with massive medical bills for Truly's kidney failure and Isabel's surgery, Kody was reportedly spending money on expensive toys and home decorations for Robyn's house. But according to sources, Christine is also planning to reveal that during these same periods, Kody was completely absent from her life intimately as well, essentially abandoning her on every possible level when she needed support most. The medical bill situation becomes even more infuriating when you allegedly consider what Christine is planning to reveal about Kody's intimate priorities during those crisis periods. Sources suggest that while Christine was dealing with the stress of her children's health emergencies and the financial burden that came with them, Kody was focused entirely on his relationship with Robyn, both financially and physically, leaving Christine to handle everything alone. Publishing industry insiders whisper that Christine's approach to connecting these parallel forms of neglect is going to be absolutely brutal for Kody's reputation, because it paints a picture of comprehensive selfishness that goes far beyond typical marital problems. We're talking about a man who allegedly couldn't prioritize his wife's satisfaction in bed or his children's medical needs when both required him to think about someone other than himself. What's particularly devastating about Christine's alleged revelations is that she's reportedly planning to include specific examples of how Kody would justify both his intimate neglect and his financial abandonment. Sources suggest she has direct quotes where Kody allegedly explained why Christine's needs weren't his priority, essentially proving that his selfishness was calculated rather than accidental. The contrast between Kody's expensive lifestyle choices and his alleged intimate failures becomes even more stark when you consider what Christine is reportedly planning to reveal about their private conversations. Insiders suggest that Christine documented not just what Kody did or didn't do in their relationship, but what he said about his priorities and why he felt justified in putting his own desires first in every situation. But here's where Christine's revenge gets absolutely surgical. Sources suggest she's planning to reveal how Kody's financial irresponsibility and intimate selfishness both stemmed from his complete inability to see his wives as full human beings with their own needs and desires. Allegedly, Christine is going to expose a pattern of behavior that shows Kody treated both money and intimacy as things he controlled and distributed based on his own whims rather than his family's actual needs. The Sister Wives community has suspected these connections for years, and reportedly Christine is about to prove them right with devastating detail that will leave Kody's reputation in absolute ruins. Let's talk about the absolute chaos that's allegedly about to hit the Sister Wives universe once Christine's intimate confessions go public, because sources suggest the fallout is going to be far more devastating than anyone realizes. We're not just talking about embarrassment for Kody. Insiders whisper that these revelations could potentially destroy his relationships with his remaining children, damage his ability to earn money from reality television, and completely obliterate any chance he has of rehabilitating his public image. The first wave of destruction is reportedly going to hit Kody's relationship with his adult children who are still speaking to him. Sources suggest that reading detailed accounts of how their father allegedly treated their mother in the most intimate aspects of their relationship is going to be absolutely traumatic for kids who've already witnessed years of emotional abuse and neglect. Allegedly, some of Kody's children who've maintained contact with him are already preparing to cut ties completely once these intimate details become public knowledge. Publishing industry insiders whisper that the media attention surrounding Christine's intimate revelations is going to be unprecedented for the Sister Wives franchise. We're talking about major news outlets, talk shows, and social media platforms dissecting every detail Christine shares about Kody's alleged bedroom failures. The kind of sustained negative attention that could allegedly force TLC to reconsider whether keeping Kody on the show is worth the controversy and potential advertiser backlash. What's particularly devastating for Kody is that these intimate revelations allegedly can't be spun or explained away like his other controversial behavior. When someone accuses you of being a bad father or poor financial manager, you can argue about circumstances and context. But when your ex-wife publishes specific details about your alleged failures as a lover, there's literally no defense that doesn't make the situation worse. The Sister Wives fan community is already preparing for what they're calling the ultimate vindication of everything they've suspected about Kody for years. Sources suggest that Christine's intimate confessions will provide concrete proof of the narcissistic behavior patterns that viewers have observed on television, showing that Kody's selfishness and lack of empathy extended into the most private aspects of his relationships. Insiders whisper that Robyn is allegedly preparing for her own reputation to be completely destroyed by association. Even if Christine doesn't directly criticize Robyn in the memoir, the intimate details about Kody's alleged behavior are going to raise serious questions about what Robyn knew and when she knew it. The Sister Wives audience has never forgiven Robyn for her role in the family's destruction, and allegedly, these new revelations are going to make her even more despised. What makes the potential fallout even more explosive is that Christine reportedly has decades of receipts to back up every claim she makes. This isn't speculation or gossip. Sources suggest this is documented evidence of patterns that allegedly show exactly who Kody really is, when the cameras aren't rolling and he thinks no one is keeping track of his behavior. But here's the most devastating part of what's allegedly coming. Sources suggest that once these intimate details become public, they're going to recontextualize everything viewers thought they knew about the Sister Wives story. All those years when Christine seemed unhappy and frustrated are going to allegedly make perfect sense once people understand what she was dealing with behind closed doors. The polygamous patriarch image that Kody has spent decades building is reportedly about to be destroyed forever, and allegedly, Christine has made sure that this time, there's no coming back from the damage she's about to inflict. Here's the ultimate truth about what Christine Brown is allegedly about to unleash on Kody Brown. This isn't just revenge, it's complete and total annihilation of everything he spent decades trying to build. Sources suggest that Christine's intimate confessions represent the nuclear option in their ongoing war, and she's reportedly chosen to deploy it at the exact moment when it will cause maximum devastation to his reputation, his relationships, and his future earning potential. What makes Christine's alleged strategy so brilliantly ruthless is that she's attacking Kody in the one area where narcissists are most vulnerable, their sexual identity and prowess. While Kody has been running around on special forces trying to prove his masculinity to America, his ex-wife has allegedly been preparing to publish detailed accounts that will make him look like anything but the strong, capable man he desperately wants people to believe he is. The timing of these revelations couldn't be more perfect for Christine's purposes either. Just as Kody is trying to reinvent himself as a reality television star beyond Sister Wives, Christine is reportedly preparing to make sure that everywhere he goes, people will remember him as the man whose ex-wife exposed his most embarrassing intimate failures. Sources suggest that Christine knows exactly how these kinds of revelations follow someone forever, becoming the defining narrative that overshadows everything else they try to accomplish. Insiders whisper that Christine's decision to include intimate details represents her final liberation from any obligation to protect Kody's dignity or reputation. After years of watching him drive expensive cars while her children needed medical care, after enduring his emotional abuse and manipulation, after seeing him prioritize Robyn over everyone else in the family, Christine has allegedly reached the point where she's ready to burn every bridge and expose every ugly truth about what their marriage really looked like. What's particularly devastating about Christine's approach is that she's reportedly planned this reveal to coincide with her own happiness and success. While Kody's reputation is about to be destroyed, Christine is thriving in her new marriage, financially independent and completely free from his control. The contrast between his alleged humiliation and her obvious joy is going to make these revelations even more impactful. The Sister Wives universe is allegedly bracing for the biggest scandal in the franchise's history because everyone knows that once these intimate details become public, there's no going back to the way things were. We're talking about revelations that will allegedly redefine how people think about Kody Brown forever, turning him from a controversial reality star into the man whose ex-wife exposed his most private failures to millions of readers. But here's what makes this the ultimate revenge. Sources suggest that Christine has structured these revelations to ensure that every time someone mentions Kody's name, they'll remember what she wrote about him. The man who spent years controlling the narrative and manipulating how his family was portrayed on television is allegedly about to lose control of his story completely, and this time Christine is the one holding all the power. So are you ready for Christine to drop these bombshells about Kody's alleged intimate failures? And do you think these revelations will finally be the end of his public reputation? Let me know what you think in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more Sister Wives drama. Trust me, with Christine's memoir about to hit shelves and all the chaos that's allegedly coming, the next video on your screen is waiting. And trust me, you won't want to miss what happens when Kody finally has to face the consequences of treating Christine like his least important wife for over 2 decades.